Howdy YouTube, today we're taking a look at the Star Wars Shadows of the Empire Ultimate Battle of the Bounty Hunters, Boba Fett vs IG-88. I was extremely excited to pick this set up. I remember as a kid seeing this set and I always wanted to grab it. At the time, the battle packs weren't always that great, but to get Boba Fett, a very iconic and one of my favorite Star Wars characters of all time, and then IG-88, just this Terminator-like bounty hunter, I thought was really cool. It comes with a comic book as well, which is set in between the, I believe it's the third and fourth levels of the video game. The video game itself on Nintendo 64, one of my favorites as well. I always remember my favorite level was the train, where you have to hop from carriage to carriage, and at the end, of course, you face IG-88, and then obviously the battle with Boba Fett, and then the Slave One ship a little bit later on in the game. But really cool set, very excited to get these guys opened up. Okay, and here we have the back of the packaging, and very big the packaging for this, which is a little bit surprising, but still really cool. I'll try and zoom it in for you. At the top here, we've got just some specs and stats on the two bounty hunters, Boba Fett and IG-88, and then a really nice read-up, basically, of the history behind both of these bounty hunters. It talks about, Boba Fett being this infamous bounty hunter and Mandalorian warrior, and then IG-88 being one of 5 other robots that, was turned loose and is just this relentless killing machine. So, really cool, and nice that they took all the time and effort to do this. One of the things I love about these old Kenner figures is that you compare them to the new modern Star Wars figures, and they've got just the same amount of articulation, but I think there's a lot less effort put into them. If we take a look, there's the other figures in the set. I'm going to try and bring you guys a review on the these two here. Dash I haven't been able to pick up. The Chewie didn't really appeal to me that much, but still some really great figures in the wave. One thing I thought was really interesting is that if you look, the weapons that they're holding are actually swapped around. They've got IG-88 holding Boba Fett's signature blaster, so I thought that was a little bit interesting. And then the vehicles down the bottom there. It would have been nice if they had have given you the ship that you use in the video game, but still a really cool set, and we'll get these guys opened up, and hopefully they're pretty cool. Okay, so we'll start by taking a look at the comic book. There's some really nice art on the front here. We've got Boba Fett's ship, obviously IG-88 and IG-2000. Really cool looking. He's firing, obviously, a missile there. Really sick. Very impressed with this thing. On the back, it's just pretty much the other figures in the set, which is pretty standard. But the actual comic book itself has some really nice artwork. I'll see if I can show you guys. There's some really top picks. And some great battle shots. Where is it? There's one really good one where he's blasting IG-88. But very cool. Very, very glad that they decided to put this in. It's one of those things where they didn't really have to, but the fact that they included a comic book just makes it a lot sweeter. It's not very long. It's only maybe 10 or so pages, but still, it's definitely one of those things that I'm glad they included. Okay, and here we have the two figures out of the packaging. We'll start by taking a look at the IG-88. This one's very nice. I believe this is actually the second time they released IG-88. And for a figure from the mid to late 90s, is actually pretty cool. He's got swivel waist, which I think is really cool, especially for at the time. His head also does the complete 360, which is cool. No movement in the arms or anything like that. He is pre-posed, which was pretty much the style of your Kenner figures. But still really nice. The only problem I've got on this one is his leg is a little bit warped, which does make it a bit hard to stand. And also, I'm not sure if you can see, but his guns are also warped as well. But I assume that's just from being in packaging for so long. He does come with like a sniper type rifle, and then also what looks like a stormtrooper gun that they've just reissued. So, just for comparison, I've got here a later IG-88 that was released as part of an Episode 5 Bounty Hunter set that came with basically all the bounty hunters that you see in the movie there. This one's a pretty big improvement, but then again, it is significantly later. It comes with pretty much the exact same weaponry, different blaster. That's actually interesting. But pretty much the exact same figure, just a few different paint apps and things like that. I'll bring it forward. You can see they've coloured in on the later one, these sort of canisters here. Also, they've given him an actual physical weapons belt rather than one that's just painted on. The face also, if you can see that, I'll try and fix up the camera so it comes across really good, is also much more detailed on this later figure, but still really good to have, really good considering there are 5 IG-88 models built, so another one always doesn't hurt. And now we come to probably my favourite figure in the set, Boba Fett. And he looks awesome. They've released quite a few Boba Fett figures, but this one I really like. There's just something about it that I remember, I guess, as a kid, that nostalgia factor. In terms of paint scheme, he's slightly different to the standard single-carded figure that they did release. A few of the differences include, obviously, the paint on these cufflinks here. Also, the single-issue figure, I don't know if you guys can see the little circle there, was painted in, different coloured gloves, different coloured pockets. So there's quite enough of a difference to warrant picking this guy up, especially if you're a fan of Boba Fett. He does come with this really neat jetpack that you can see, which is actually how it's coloured in the video game and also in the comic. The jetpack does come off by sliding it up, and you can also detach the cape, which is pretty cool. And he's got the standard Mandalorian blaster. So, just for fun, I've got a much later issued Boba Fett that was part of that Bounty Hunter pack, same as the IG-88. You can see, obviously, as time went on, detail and things are significantly better. Just look at the details on the face there, the scratches and everything. Also, the amount of accessories, movement, articulation, everything. One of the things I love on this figure is that the shoulder, I guess, cape is actually a soft cloak cape, which I really love. I think that's a fantastic addition. But still, it's really good to see the evolution from the Kenner figures to, I guess, the Hasbro. If you get a chance, pick up the IG-88 Boba Fett Battle Pack set. It comes with the comic book. It's got great nostalgia value. And I'm really happy that I was able to pick these guys up and hopefully give you guys a cool review.